Welcome to Through the Looking Glass. While here in Wonderland, we're going to discuss topics and share stories to help clear up the distorted views of relationships. We provide a safe place for balanced and honest conversation. While each episode can help all who listen, the focus will be on the community of color. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Through the Looking Glass. We are going into season 5. This is our first episode. But let's jump back into it. We've had a nice little break, about 2 months, almost 2 months. We got a little different platform. Season 5 will be Season of Self. So it's going to be focusing on individuals and, being selfish with everything, your time, your space, your energy. And I'm excited because we have some really interesting things going on, not to mention not one, but 2 miniseries where we'll be talking to the men, an all men 5-episode series called Exit Wounds. And the females will have a 5-episode series called Unscripted. So definitely keep a lookout for that. I'm excited about everything, the whole season. A lot of growth has happened for a majority of everybody here, and I think we're ready to share our lessons to kind of push forward with our own growth, but also to allow everyone else to kind of learn from where we came from. But before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and do our mental health check. I mean, we haven't done one in months, so I'm gonna start with Keisha. How you doing, Keisha?
Well, hello everybody. I am doing great. Miss y'all.
Miss you too.
Oh. Chris.
Oh man, y'all just as goofy as the last time, as always. So I see nothing changed with the group as far as the little goofiness. But nah, I'm all good. Like I said, the first few days of 2023 was pretty rough. But it turned around, so I was ready to hit the reset button on 2023, but I'm chugging on through.
All right. Marcus.
2023 is a good beginning.
That's good, Marcus.
Oh. Well, I mean, there's a lot of changes been going on with myself. Working on self, and in several ways. So it's been pretty good. So far so good. And I had some downs, but more ups than downs. So, and it's only been a month.
That's good.
Oh, Michelle, check in with us.
I'm sorry, I'm processing what you said. Yeah, all good. Back in school started back up. So there's that. Yeah. I really don't have anything significant to report other than I'm here, I'm happy, and I'm excited to see what's to come. So jumping into season 5, we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're going to be freestyling, and every week somebody's going to bring a topic to the table. This week it's Chris. Chris is the first person to bring a topic to the table, and we're going to watch the clip and we're going to talk about it. So Chris is going to facilitate the rest of this episode. I'm scared. I'm excited. I'm terrified more than anything else. But yeah, how you feel about that, Chris? How you feel about that?
Hey, I'm good. Hey, y'all just know what I'm saying? Strap it on, strap it in.
Whoa.
Strap it in, strap it in, strap in,
Whoa.
strap in. See, they all go. Yeah, no, strap in, not strap it on.
Wow, this keeps going the wrong way. This is a whole nother.
Put your seatbelt on and enjoy the ride.
Thank you, Marcus.
All right, so let's go ahead and see what topic Chris has brought to the table this evening. Here we go.
Look it. I told my girl she's the fourth most important thing in my life. Okay?
For now.
And I'm going to tell you what the three ahead of her were. It was me, career, mother, and then her.
Fourth.
And then she's there. She goes, but, yes, well, you're important. And but I consider you to be the person I'm going to grow old with. So I kind of put you ahead of my family, like my mother or whatever. And I go, oh, wow. Well, thanks, sweetie, but you're fourth. She's the fourth most important. To me, never love yourself. Never love anybody more than you love yourself.
All right, Chris, so let's talk about it. I thought it was really interesting that he put, I don't know. Go.
No, I would say, like, first, you should always put yourself first. And I know that's not kind of the thing to do when you're talking about being in a relationship with somebody else. But I think a lot of times people get into relationships with other people and then they put the other person wants and needs ahead of their own and they end up losing their selves. So then what happens when they lose themselves, the person who their significant other like fell in love with and was attracted to is a whole different person now, because that person changed up their motive. So it's just always being a little selfish and keeping yourself and keeping your own who you are. Because a lot of people get into relationships and they just lose who they are. So I don't know, I don't know if y'all have known anybody that was like that. Or how y'all feelings on that?
So
Oh, you said me?
Oh yeah. That's
saying,
me. That's me every time.
Okay.
Well, you talking about losing yourself or being selfish?
Losing yourself. I guess that part.
Yourself.
Like in a relationship.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I've been there at some point in a relationship before where I kind of felt like I was losing myself. So I can relate with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it didn't take me long to get back on track, but yeah, I kind of, yeah. What was you saying, Marcus?
No, I just said I agree. I know sometimes like you can get in a relationship and then you can they fall, like what Chris was saying, they fall in love with who the person that they who they met. But then when that person gets to the point where they're always trying to compromise and do for that other person, then in a way you kind of lose yourself in that aspect, and then they're not getting the person that they started off with. They're getting a whole other person. They probably could see that person as weak, or because you get bored, because if somebody's always being the yes man in a relationship, where's the foundation? Where's the disagreements and stuff that help build the relationship?
I think for me, it's the infatuation phase. I can get lost in the infatuation phase, but once I snap out of it, or once the person gives me a reason not to, like, I wouldn't say though I'm putting anybody in front of myself. I just go hard. Like, I love hard. I love like hard. So, but I don't feel it's putting somebody in front of myself. Like how he was saying it. Like he had his list of himself, work, his mama, then her. Which I thought his mama, that was interesting. Now, I do have a mama's boy, so I'm not going to be too hard on it. I have dated mama's boys. It's a challenge. I'm not going to lie. Anybody who dates my boys I'm sorry. But I've spoiled them to a point where, I'm sorry, but I don't know. I feel that you go through a stage in the infatuation phase where you think this person is amazing, right? Yeah. And you can get lost in that space, but is that really putting them in front of you? Because no one's going to be put in front of myself, right? My kids, maybe.
For me,
at times. No, go ahead, Keisha.
No, I was just saying when I felt like I was getting lost in the relationship, I don't know if it was quite me putting myself last or putting them first. It was just I just kind of mimic what they did. Like, okay, well, they like to do this, so they like to do that. So I kind of just fall back on what I like to do, which makes me unique to kind of like play into what they liked or whatever or enjoyed.
So it's kind of
like a chameleon.
Yeah, I would say that, or like
What
a
you know
give and
about
take.
that, Marcus?
What about being? Yeah, mhm. I can understand the part about being a chameleon and like falling into the whatever the rep or whatever that person like, and not doing what you like, but doing more of what they like, and compensating for, you know, what makes them happy instead of what makes you happy. I can understand that aspect of it and how that would be, pretty much a killer for the relationship, unless that person that taking it, absorbs that and feeds off of that. But back to what the video was saying, like how he used his type of hierarchy he had. I disagree with that. Having so many things above. I mean, I understand taking care of yourself is number one, but and part of that taking care of yourself, you're supposed to have some type of at least be higher than mom. I would say, if the relationship is that serious.
Right.
I
agree.
Yeah. So
yeah, but I think it's more so like far as a priority. And at times the priority, it can change. And it's like, hey, if we just met and let's say we've been dating. No, I don't like that word, but let's say we've been dating for 2-3 months. It's like I can't put you ahead. Like I can't see me giving you top priority. Now, at times, could you possibly be high up there? But then it's like some things that I'm like, that like right now, I would say my hierarchy is me, it's my kids, and then it's like everything else. But I'm like, far as like nothing or no one is ever going to go above my kids and then also me. So like anybody that's coming in my life, you're going to be 3 at best at any point in time. Like I'm not going to put anybody ahead of my kids. And I know I've had situations where I had people I were talking to and they were like, well, you don't make me a top priority. And I'm like, well, you're never going to get high priority over my kids. And this woman, she had a child too, and I was like, well, would I be above your daughter? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, man, that's not a character
I was
flaw.
literally going to ask you.
Yeah,
I was like, are people doing that though?
Yes.
Do people put people over their kids?
Yeah. I mean, and I told her, I was like, man, that's a character flaw. And I couldn't really, like, I didn't even look at her the same way anymore.
Red flag.
Yeah.
That's scary.
But I think it's
but it's a lot. But you do have those situations where you find men and women that will put their kids on the back burner just to, please that person. It's people out there, that'll do that.
That's definitely a red flag.
Yeah.
That's definitely a red flag.
I think that's like, I guess that would be selfishness.
No, I think that's beyond selfishness.
That's
That's your kids, man.
I mean,
anybody who is a parent should not even think that's a possibility. If I'm talking to a single dad, if I'm talking to a dad, I know his children come before me, and I'm okay with that. Like that is what needs to happen.
Right. Absolutely.
Because if that's weird to me. That is weird. Like if you're putting me above your kids, then I don't want to be with you because your priorities are messed up. Yeah, like you'll be a top priority, but my kids come first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I've had even situations after a couple months. Somebody asked me, and say, hey, well, if I had to choose between doing something and making her upset or making my kid's mom upset, what am I choosing? And with the quickness, I told her, like, yo, you're going to be mad. And she got mad at me. I was like, yo, like, you're just here. You're just getting here. Like, why would I stir up what I got going on? Not what I got going on. Why would I stir up anything with my kid's mom? Because at the end of the day, like, I have to make sure that my kids are, everything is straight with them. So I'm not going to, like, mess up anything with that or put them on the back burner just to not hurt your feelings.
But that's a whole nother conversation too, though, because then
it's just like where
is the kids being higher than me is okay, but not the ex. I'm sorry, no. I mean, I'm not saying go piss your ex off. I get that part, but if your ex is over me, then we're not together. I can see you being over me, God, obviously, your kids, but your ex? No.
I mean, I guess you got to look at it that that person has your kids, and you got to make sure your kids straight, but you don't necessarily got to.
If I busted a tire and I need you to come help, and she busted a tire, your kids ain't with her. It's her. She busted a tire. You going to go to her?
She got called roadside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I know, right? Okay, let's clarify that.
Hey, I was about to say, look, man, well, both of them should have roadside. I'm saying, man, you gotta be responsible.
But no, let's.
If you're in the vicinity and you're there to help, and both of y'all got flat tires, you know what I'm saying? Your ex or whatever. I mean, kids not there.
Kids are not there.
More than likely, she's not gonna call. The ex is not gonna call you anyway.
They shouldn't, but some of them will.
But some will. But I feel like most don't.
Yeah,
I know mine won't. So I mean, and she probably can fix it herself. So I mean, it's good.
Oh boy.
No, I cannot. Marcus.
What?
Oh man.
We talking.
Hey, she gonna kick your butt too.
I'm just saying.
But what are some other things though that when you're talking about priority,
the hierarchy and everything? I agree. I agree somewhat with what did the girl say? She said she put him before a couple of things or whatever. What was her? I mean, because I agreed a little bit with her order.
No, she was saying no, you talking about in the clip. She was saying that his girl was saying that like she would put him above all that, including herself. And I'm not gonna say that's a red flag, but that's like something you should like proceed with caution. If someone is willing to like give you all of that, especially early on. Now, granted, like I said, let's say years down the road, you guys get married, then that kind of changes things, but you still shouldn't lose yourself.
Heck, no, because sometimes you can't find yourself back.
Yep.
When the relationship's over, where are you? Lost in Wonderland.
Right.
Because what happens is you've given all of yourself to this person and it doesn't work out. And now you might spend a couple years afterwards trying to figure out who you are because you no longer know or recognize the person you was. A lot of people don't know who they were before they met that person because everything in their life revolved around that one person, and then they don't have that person anymore. And now they're just like at a loss, like, I don't know who I am. I don't know who I was before these 2-3 years with this person. And I mean, that's one of the things that once you lose it, it's hard to get it back.
Well, that just goes back to, several podcasts ago when we were saying you got to make sure yourself, you good with yourself before you go into these relationships. Because if you already lost when you going into
how do you know? How you know, Marcus? How you know you good with yourself?
How you know?
How do you know? I mean, people might be confused.
I mean, when you love yourself, You know what I'm
What
saying?
does
You'll
that
take
look
care
like?
of yourself. What is it? I mean, when you got yourself in a good mind space, you know, mind, body, soul, whatever, and you're able to deal with certain things, and that you know who you are in a relationship, and can deal with certain things, and be able to you know, if someone say they want to leave or go or whatever, you fine with it, and you just, you know, go on about yourself. I mean, I feel like it's a part, you know, you can add to me, but if you can't add to me, then, you know, be done with it. I mean, you fine with it. You fine with like losing whatever, you know, if somebody comes in your life and you go, I mean, it may hurt a little bit, but you're okay. You know what I'm saying? But when you go into that relationship and you know yourself, then it's easier to, you know, remove yourself from the situation or heal if the relationship does not work out.
Hmm.
How you feel about that? No.
How do you like those apples?
He was like, take that, Michelle. Take that.
Yeah. Drop the mic on her.
Boom.
I think it means different things for different people, right?
It does.
And if somebody said, okay, I'm making you a priority, what does that mean? What in y'all's own definition? So we all agree that you should be top priority. We all agree that your kids should be priority. You know what I'm saying? And some people switch it up. Some people put kids in front of themselves. I'm more aligned with that. Like if something's coming down and it's me or my kids, like whatever is, yeah, the kids are going to receive whatever needs to happen. So in a sense, they're top priority over me. But what does it mean when somebody asks, are you a priority? What does that look like? And what do you expect out of it?
Well, if somebody's asking if I'm a priority or if they are a priority to me, that's just more so, am I thinking about this person before I do something? Before I make any type of decision, am I thinking, hey, how would this affect that person? How would it make them feel by me doing whatever it is? And then, like I said, so then it's like if I'm in that mindset, then yeah, that person is would be considered a top priority if I'm thinking about the actions, the consequences of my actions and how it's going to affect that person.
Okay.
So feelings come into a play.
Yeah, definitely.
Wouldn't they have to if you're making somebody a priority? If I don't care about you, you're not a priority. Trust it.
That's true. I mean, yeah, like what Chris said, I agree with Chris. When somebody say you priority, they make you priority. You allow them in certain parts of your, you know, your life or whatever. And, you know, either if that's like checking in or maybe letting them know what's going on, maybe like getting an opinion on something or whatever, just, you know, become a part of, you know, some of your routine or something like that. That may be a priority. But as far as like where they're at, you know, you want that same treatment back. But your kids and I say your kids and whatever, you know, whatever else you got going on, you know, kids are priority. And you know, mom would not be, you know, top priority because, you know, that's mom. You know, she'll be above mom, but, you know, it's still, you know, give and take at that point, you know, and see what part of your life you know, letting her into, you know, as far as like anything like that.
And what about you, Keisha? Like when you think about somebody you're with, making them a priority, like what does that look like for you and your actions? But what do you expect or hope to see from them to show
If
that you're
it's
the
like
priority or a
dating,
priority?
or what do you mean?
I guess just in that stage of where you starting to become a priority to them or like that.
Interactions. I would definitely, it would have to be a level of interactions. It would have to definitely be a level of considering, you know, what I want, considering my thoughts and feelings. I just think when it comes down to being a priority, a person knows when they're not a priority. You can feel that. they make that known.
Absolutely.
You know, so you're not going to have to ever guess if you're a priority or not to someone. You will know.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do when you feel that you're not, but the person is like, but you are, but you're like, how can I be? Or pause. I got an example.
Okay, let's go.
So I'm excited. I got an example. So somebody tells you you're a priority. Somebody says you're a priority to me, but you don't feel that you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know, maybe you went some months without talking. So how could you be a priority if you went this many months without talking to me? But the point is, maybe that person went that many months without talking because of something you did and it hurt, right? So how am I a priority if that person feels like, okay, if I'm a priority, there's no way you could have went that long without talking to me? So who determines the priority status? The person who feels you are a priority, I just can't deal with you right now, or the person who's on the receiving end?
Hold on. Repeat that last part again.
Who determines who's the priority or the whole priority status? The person who feels it and says you are a priority. Maybe there's some stuff in my life going on that I can't address or I'm working out, but you're still a priority. I just can't do some of the things. Or the person on the other end who's like, I'm not a priority because you're not doing this, that, and the third.
And so I would say it's the first person, but also with the first person, if they're going through something, and if that other person is a priority, they might not tell them, like, go into the details of what it is that they're going through. But if this person is someone that you think highly of and they're a top priority, you're going to let them know, hey, I got some stuff going on. Mentally, I'm not in a good space. Like, I just want you to know, like, I need a little, like, personal space right now. So I might not be all in.
Okay.
So yeah, so you just let that communicating it to that person.
I like your answer.
Right. Okay.
Go ahead and disappoint me, Marcus. What you got to say?
Golly, come on, man. Don't do Marcus like that.
I mean, I would say, since I've been pulled out of it, I don't know. I guess the person that I feel like it's both of you, should make that call about who priority is. Maybe depending on that person that went dark, those 2 months that he or she may have went in that space, and did not know how to communicate it or anything like that. You have to take that in account for that. But if it's not, then he decides what's priority, what's not. As far as like the person that's on the outside waiting for that person, they should, I would feel like, if they felt like I was a priority, then maybe they should have called or let them know or whatever. But if they did not, then that should be your answer, as far as like, okay, I guess I'm not a priority. But I don't think they should wait on a answer like that, or should, because if they don't feel like they're a priority, then more than likely that may be the answer that they have, or they should take and go with it.
Well, and I'm joking. I was just being a smartass when I said that about disappointment. But what? But what if the person who had to take a break, they had to take a break from because that person did something? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, because I mean, maybe they did something that they didn't, didn't want to share with you, or felt like it was something that they just had to deal with and try to see if they could fix it or work on it or whatever it was, and then talk about it at a different time if that person's still available. If they're not available, then that's what happened.
I got a question. Should they when they come back into this person's life, should they automatically think that they should be treated as a priority?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
You gotta earn that.
Yeah, that's earned. That's earned. That's action. Actions speak louder than words. You can say whatever you want to say. Just like if somebody come back in your life and say, "Hey, you are a priority," after they've been gone or disappeared for 2 months or 3 or whatever, You should. I mean, you got to earn that. I feel like it.
Okay.
Why we pause?
No, but I know we've been speaking on this, but and I know we've been kind of hinting around it, but I mean, like priority, it is more so action based because you can tell somebody that you are or they are a high priority, but it's all in your actions, and then you can feel it. I know we had talked about that as well, but you can feel it when like someone is making you a priority. You can feel it versus them just saying it.
How does that feel? How does that feel? How does the priority, being prioritized? How does that feel?
No, I mean it feels good because it's like, okay, this person means this person feel as though I mean so much to them that they're including me in things like, let's say, far as their day. If they're letting you know how their day is or what's going on with their day. Hey, I have meetings at blank, blank, and blank, but I got some free time in this time. And then during that free time, they might reach out to you and talk to you. And then it's like, okay, cool. Because like, even though they have a busy schedule, they're fitting you into that busy schedule. So that's showing like, okay, that you're a priority, because if they got a busy schedule, they could use that free time to just take a break and just get away from everything. But they're giving you that time, whether it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour, whatever it is. And I mean, and it does feel good.
Yeah. They make the time to say something.
Time. Yeah.
They share with you if they disappear or, well, this is what I was doing. They're accountable.
Accountability. That word.
Yeah.
That's huge. And time is something you don't get back. So if I'm choosing to use that resource on you, that's a big deal.
Right.
Yeah. Now that's something that I've had to learn. Because I'm like, man, I don't need to know what you're doing every single minute or hour or stuff. But then it got to the point like, okay, well, why is this person telling me all this? I don't need to know that. Until I realized like, okay, well, that means that person cares enough about me to like
there's a
let
fine
them know
line
that's
that
what it is. Yeah, I mean, because it can't be.
I don't want to hear everything about your day. Yeah, I don't want to. I really don't. I don't want to know about how many poos you done took. I don't want to hear about your bubble guts.
Not like that.
I don't want to hear your whole day.
It's just being
tell you about the ups and downs, like something exciting happened. Not, I just left the restroom. No.
Well,
I don't have people tell me.
I guess it get kind of weird when you're saying like, oh, I'm going here, I'm going there. This is what I'm doing at this time. This is what I'm doing at that time. It gets, it's like, okay, why are you doing this? And then like you might get some, you ladies might understand getting a guy that like to want to know your every move or where you're going or where you at and all that. So it could get a little, crazy, when you start asking for all that information
I don't think those relationships would last though, because there's certain people that just won't fall in line. Like if somebody was trying to talk to me and wanted all that information, we wouldn't last a week because I'm known to disappear. I'm known to get in the car and drive someplace without telling anybody where I'm going. Like, and I'm not going to tell you because I don't want you to come. I want to go someplace by myself. You know what I'm saying? So if there was a dude who was trying to pursue and it's like, I need your agenda, blah, 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 we're not going to work. Sorry. Because you're not going to know every place I'm going and you're not coming with me everywhere I go.
Yeah, because I would say other people may have other motives as well. So it's like, I'm going to tell you everything I'm doing because I want to know everything that you're doing. And it's like, look, man, if I don't want to share everything that I'm doing, I'm not going to share my schedule with you like that. Because like I said, I might not feel comfortable doing that, or you don't need to know what I'm doing like that. But some people do it like, okay, well, I told you everything I'm doing, so you need to tell me everything that you're doing and what you got going on. And it don't work that way. The person got to be willing to do that.
What is the priority level for you to feel like you're seen and heard in a relationship? Where do you feel you should be? Let's start there.
I think what Chris was saying earlier, when you're, when they're able to, fit that time in with you.
Not showing you, but where do you feel you should be on the list?
Wherever the person, that's not my choice. I can't tell somebody I want to be this priority right here.
No, I'm not telling you to tell them. I'm not telling you to tell them. But if I said you're number 10, you cool with that? You cool with being number 10?
Number 10 ain't good. That means
that's what I'm saying. Where do you want to be? You number 15?
I'll take below the kids or whatever, because that kids should be priority. And if you got like a family or somebody that you taking care of or whatever, they should be priority. But kind of like
so you want to be below the kid.
Yeah, I mean, because the kids are priority. Your kids are priority. That's what you can go.
I'm saying, but you feel you should be that high?
Okay, I would say, I wouldn't say like, it all depends, like, because most people say like priority, they'll be like, family, or wife.
Ain't nobody said God yet. How about God? What God at?
I'm saying? It's like God, family, God, family, and football. Yeah, that part.
Wow.
But but yeah,
just having a good couple years. So Go Dogs. We get it.
I mean, God is priority. Your relationship with God is supposed to be number one priority,
right?
And then your family, and then certain things like that. You gotta take care of yourself. Because now you gotta take care of yourself first, and then your family. Then
instead of going down the road.
See, but the whole thing. Let's say with the family.
Yeah.
Now, coming in, I shouldn't jump your family. But over time, as we develop a stronger bond, it's like some family members where it's like, if you always dropping stuff with me to go tend to a family member, I'm going to feel like kind of slighted, unless it's an emergency. If it's an emergency, life and death situation, I can totally understand this. But if this is, I ain't gonna say, I was about to say a name, but if this is such and such, and she's always having an issue every single weekend with her man or baby daddy or whatever, and you just drop everything, I'm like, come on, man. Like, what? Like, nah. I'm not, that's not going to be prioritized over me.
That's girls' night out, man.
No,
I mean, I
can
see if things happen, but this don't need to be ongoing.
Right.
So
yeah. I mean, I agree with Chris. After a while, some of your family members should be out, but I would say like, immediate family, things like that, because most of your family members not gonna call you for nothing, really, unless they really need something.
Unless you're the go-to person.
Unless you're the go-to. Yeah. GTG.
Yeah, unless you're the go-to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that happens. But most of the time they kind of understand if they're in that relationship or whatever. You got to go do that, do this. But you still make time for that person to feel priority. But where do you feel like you should be on that list, though, Michelle?
As long as I'm in the top 5, I'm good.
It also depends what's on the list.
Yeah.
If his car is on the list, then I better be higher than that car. If football's on the list, I better be higher than football.
Yeah, no, I agree. Now, if it's Super Bowl, I'll work with you, but
nope.
I mean, okay.
What about jobs? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about work. And I'm just curious because I'm a workaholic. I am. And I've said it multiple times. I think my career was a big reason why my marriage went into the tank and crapped out.
I think you should have a healthy balance of it.
What's a healthy balance, Marcus?
Being able to balance out work and your family life. What does that look like? Like, okay, don't take it. I mean, I know some people have the luxury of working home, so you can't say don't take your work home with you when you get off or whatever. But
no, but it's more so it's like when you log off and when you clock out, it's like, all right, cool, work is over.
But is work ever really over?
It needs to be. At times it needs to be.
It needs to be.
I don't think that's possible for some people.
It
Depends
is.
on where
I guess
your position is.
it's like your field of, I mean, whatever you in, if you carry like a big role or something like that in your company, and they
Right.
rely on you for everything, then of course, I mean, but you got to learn how to cut people off and say no.
Yeah, or you still need to know, hey, this time right here,
Yeah.
you can't reach me. Hey, look, I'm sorry. Between this time and that time, you can't reach me. You're gonna have to go to somebody else, and then you have that planned out just to let people know that. And then people will respect those boundaries.
When you're going up the ladder? What about that? What about when you're in your career and you pushing up the ladder?
Then you may not have time for nobody.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you may not. Yeah, now if this is somebody that you're already involved with, and let's say it's a marriage, and then you just let them know, hey, I'm pushing for this position. I really want to try for this, so I may not be as available as much. That person's going to understand it. But if you are like single and you're in the dating stage, then you're probably going to have to just cut off any type of dating until you reach that goal right there, because you're not going to be able to do both.
But do you ever reach the goal, though?
You can smash.
Oh, yeah, you can definitely smash. Smashing is always, you know what I'm saying? Nothing gets in the way of smashing.
So would you say smashing is high priority for you?
See, there we go. I see how I broke myself into that. As soon as I said it, I was like, yeah, I stepped right into that punch. Is it a high priority? Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I did not want to answer this, but I don't think it. I think it depends on who that person is and where they are with themselves. Like really? They feel like, you know, if that's a priority that they need, then by all means go do what you got to do. But if you feel like you could be without that and climb the ladder and do what you got to do, then, you know, do that too. But it's a choice.
What is do what you have to do? What is that?
No, I'm not talking about smashing. I'm just talking about work that ladder and get up that corporate ladder and thing like that. When I said with somebody trying to just smash, and that's what you want to do is smash so you can feel your, you know, whatever. You know, to feel that need, fulfill the need in their release, to feel that release. If you gotta have to feel that,
we get it. The release, we get it. You're releasing.
But I'm saying, it's just a choice. It's a choice. It's a preference. It's a choice.
But is it a priority?
It's not a priority.
So we got a yes from Chris, a no from Marcus, liar. But it's not a priority. How about you, Keisha?
Are y'all just talking about sex, or
yeah, sex? That's a yes.
Yep.
Well, if you're in a relationship, I think it should be a priority. But I mean, if you're going through, I guess, a stage where you're just not sexually active and that's what you choose to do, then that is your priority. Your priority is to not do it. I think, you know, that's what you choose to do. But if you are active with your mate, I mean, sex is good health-wise too. It's not just for the act of, oh man, I just want to, I mean, it's good release. For your brain. Yeah, it's good for your serotonins. It's good for anxiety. It's actually good for you. So just
depends on where you're rubbing it in.
Wow.
Sorry, that was for Chris.
I was just saying
protein.
That was Chris. That was for Chris.
Hey, look, man. No. Just go ahead. No, we need to move past this because.
What'd you say, Chris? I
said for your skin.
Oh,
maybe. Never mind.
I'm not speaking on that. If y'all want to add some to that, that's fine. Chris, would you like to share how it's good for your skin?
No, let's not do this.
What? You're just getting toxins out your body. You're releasing toxins from your body.
Oh, I thought you meant rubbing it in the skin.
Man, come on, man. Like, yo, come on. See, we starting off the season bad, man. What? Never mind. You know what? I'm good. I'm gonna be quiet.
Season 5 all the way
so
live.
good about being a vegetarian. You just have to be healthy. I don't know where this is going. So
all right, let's go ahead and reel it back in.
It's your episode, my guy.
Oh, okay. Look, man. Oh no, but you didn't say far as you. The how is the smashing a priority. But we got a shower head, so you stay with the shower head.
I don't need batteries. And I don't have to deal with pissy ass attitudes either. Just saying.
Well, it's about that time.
So, like I said, we can go ahead and then bring this one on home. But no, like I do think, like, far as being selfish, and I think being selfish, I know it's always frowned upon when you're talking about dating, having a significant other, but I mean, you have to be selfish. Like at times, being selfish and put yourself first, and never put anybody ahead of you. Never put anybody ahead of you.
Except your kids. For me,
you should always be one. See, but the thing about the kids, I know we talked about that, but even if I put the kids ahead of me, maybe at times, yeah, but if I'm not in a good place.
Parallel.
Yeah, because it's like, if I'm not in a good place, I'm not in the place to like do what I need to do for them. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So what are y'all final statements when it comes to somebody who's listening and is like, well, hell, I want to be number one. I want to be number one beyond everybody else. Like, what would you tell them?
Be by themselves.
Yeah, because you're not going to be number one.
Yeah. That's the only way you'll be number one.
Now if you're dealing with, now if you're dealing with someone that's already got, priorities that's more valuable than you are at that time. So you're not going to be number one. I don't think you're going to be number one in any relationship.
What if they want to be number 3?
Possibility if there are no kids involved.
At times they move up there. But like I said, it's not a floating scale. It's a fluid. It's a fluid list.
No,
you're trying to use big. Look at you. Okay.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of
the list is dynamic. It's not static. Okay.
Yeah,
I must be rubbing off on you.
Yeah, I've been doing our time off. I've been doing a little something.
Now,
what you bring to the table?
All right, now.
What were you about to say, Marcus?
No, I was good. I lost that thought.
Keisha.
No, I mean I agree with what y'all saying. I don't think I got nothing else to add to it. I think it's just all depends on the individual. And as far as being number one, I agree. You're probably not going to be number one. Number 2, number 3, possibly. I always go biblical. So biblically, you're supposed to husbands are to cleave to their wives. So if you're following the biblical terms, then is it Christ, then husband or wife, then children? Now that's biblical. But everybody follows that principle. But
I agree with that. But because it's gonna be a time when your kids are gonna get grown, they're gonna leave. So it's just gonna be you and whoever in the house.
Right.
So if you put in your,
you don't got to be in the house.
Say what?
You don't have to be in the house with me. They can have their own house. We can just meet up.
Well, that's what but I was saying some people might want to be in the same house.
Have an upstairs and a downstairs.
I like that.
Yeah, you could be in the basement.
Right.
Damn, I wasn't going to the
No, I mean, for real, that's
basement though.
Yeah. Might be a nice basement, finished basement.
Oh, if it's a finished basement, okay.
Yeah, it's a finished basement. He ain't just throwing him down there like in a dungeon. Even though I believe Michelle would do something like that.
I would not. I'm gonna have your own section of the house.
Yeah, that's what it is.
All right. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead, wrap it up, man.
Chris, bring us home, man.
I thought that's what we was doing.
I know you got to do the whole spiel now. Where to find us? You know what's up?
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, season 5 kicked off with a bang. Had to bring it in, but follow us on IG, TikTok, YouTube, Through the Looking Glass, Facebook. Oh yeah, I'm about to say Facebook for old people, but hope I ain't offend nobody, but yeah, but Facebook too. Check us out.
Talking about me. I look younger than you, my guy. Yeah,
I'll keep that to myself. But what's the saying? Stay safe. Be well. Be well.
Look at you.
Stay safe.
Take care. Take care. Stay safe.
Take care. All right.
Be well.
All right. Thanks for letting me drive.
Absolutely. Thank you for not throwing us off the curve.